Hi guys, Cross here. I am doing a video on the surgeries that I'm getting. Gastric bypass versus gastric sleeve versus duodenal switch, and why I'm choosing what surgery I'm choosing. First, let's very lightly go over the differences as far as I understand them. If you need actual true blue medical information, you really should go to your doctor. But and don't ever take my word for it. Always research and choose what is best for you. So starting off, I'm not even going to mention the lap band here because it's not an option for me. I have seen too many things and stories about it malfunctioning and migrating and moving up to your esophagus and choking you. No thank you. I don't need that mess. So as far as the simplest surgery, I believe, is the gastric sleeve, which number one is not reversible. So not sure about that. And the gastric sleeve, it focuses on restricting how much food you can absorb. And I've noticed that people who get the gastric sleeve are not in my BMI range. They're not as big as I am. And it's not generally recommended for people who have as much to lose as I have. Because I apparently have a BMI of 61, which according to medical journals here, called me super obese. That's great, thank you. But, so gastric sleeve is really not an option for me, and plus from what I understand, there's a whole lot of acid reflux and bile reflux, and I'm not about that. No, that's not cute. The thing that is pretty cool about the gastric sleeve, well, beneficial, is that the pyloric valve is left intact, and that is what I believe allows you to help digest sugars and fats and stuff, so you don't get dumping syndrome from that, unlike in the gastric bypass. And the gastric bypass, it is reversible, number one, and a pyloric valve is, I believe, sectioned off or removed. And when that happens, whenever you ingest sweets or fats or whatever, that causes dumping syndrome, which can range from anything to fainting, nausea, dizziness, sweating, hot flashes. You just don't feel good. And it also in the gastric bypass, your small intestine is cut in the middle and rerouted. So gastric bypass focuses on restriction of food intake and also malabsorption, meaning that you just don't have as much time and bowel to digest the food that you're getting. So that was what I was originally going to go for. But then my bariatric coordinator, wonderful doc, she actually notified me about DS, duodenal switch, which apparently is a crossbreed, a hybrid of gastric sleeve and gastric bypass, sorry. And the way I understand it is that it creates a pouch just like the gastric bypass, but it leaves the pyloric valve intact like the gastric sleeve, so you don't end up getting the dumping syndrome. And the intestine is also rerouted, so it still is restrictive and malabsorptive, but with less dumping syndrome as the gastric bypass. Now there is a new procedure called the duodenal switch, and I'm going to probably go for that. Mostly, I already talked about the duodenal switch, but I'm going to be going for that mostly because of the statistics I'm finding. From what I'm finding online, especially on TimeMagazine.com, there's an article here about it, and the statistics say that at the 2-year follow-up, the 20% of gastric bypass patients have failed to lose at least 50% of their excess body weight at the end of the year of the 1 and 2 year follow-ups, constituting failure of the weight loss surgery, compared to the failure rate of 9 and 6% at the 1 and 2 year, respectively, among the duodenal switch patients. The weight loss is much more pronounced in the duodenal switch, and they also found that the duodenal switch patients were also more likely to have control of obesity-related conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, sleep apnea after surgery, especially among patients who started out with a BMI greater of 50. But you also have to take in consideration that those patients also were in worse health. So, of course, the outcome is going to look better in comparison to the before. So, but still, the fact that I can get the benefits of the gastric bypass without, I would say, probably the inconvenience of dumping syndrome is probably what I'm going to go for. So, I just believe that it's probably my best option. There is a new procedure. Some doctors call it experimental or investigative, and some just call it a modification of the duodenal switch, and it's called SIPS, which stands for Stomach Intestinal Pylori Sparing Surgery, which I believe is a easier, less complex version of the duodenal switch. There are some people who are calling it investigative and experimental, while some are just saying it's just a modification. It's used the same principle of bariatric surgery that has been used for the last 25 years. I am going to have to talk to my doctor, my surgeon, when I meet him in about a month, to decide what version is best for me. Suffice to say, though, I will probably be trusting him as far as which procedure to get. If he tells me he thinks I would have better success with the duodenal switch or with the SIPS, I'm going to trust him and go for it. Because, you pay these people for something. They have experience. And my pet peeve is when people talk about things that they don't understand or don't know and just are convinced that they have all the information, especially when it comes to the internet, because it's not always helpful and it's not always accurate. So I will be consulting with my doctor about that. Hey there, sorry, I didn't realize I was so zoomed in for the beginning of the video. Just real quickly, I have been approved by my bariatric surgeon to get the surgery, my bariatric coordinator. She looked at me and she said, "You've done the work, Nate." And I was really worried because the last video I had gained, this last visit, I had gained 2 pounds in the month before, but I had also been sick for 3 weeks and they had me on steroids. And so I went in and I was like, I probably blew it. I thought I was done. And she goes, "Nate, you've been on steroids for 3 weeks from this third infection, and you've only managed to gain 2 pounds. That's a win in my book. And you've done the work. You've done the emotional work, and you figured out your triggers, and you figured out what you're going to do in all these situations when it comes to food. I have every confidence in you." And that, I really needed to hear that. I needed to hear that somebody other than my boyfriend has seen what I've been working so hard for. And so I get to meet my surgeon on March 9th, and I was given a choice between two of them from this clinic, and one of them was a little more laid back, but one is a little more on top of things and more structured, and I know that after this process, I'm somebody who needs some structure. I need somebody who says, eat this, not that. You know, this is forbidden. Do not do this unless you want to mess things up. And I need that. If you just give me a vague guideline, I'm going to justify stuff. I'm going to rationalize eating that. I'm going to rationalize, you know, pizza for a week straight. So that is really exciting. And then I'm probably going to be looking at a June surgery date, only because my fiance will be off work for the summer, and he wants me to wait until then so that he can be home and take care of me, which is really sweet. And speaking of small victories also, this last week I had to go to a work dinner for him, and I don't have any business casual clothes, and I told him that because I don't really like shopping for clothes. What big person does? So off to DXL we went, and I've been wearing a 4X for 2-3 years, and I put one on, and he's looking at it, and he goes, humor me, but put on a smaller size, try a size down. And I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's humiliate me in public. Because I thought it wasn't going to fit across my shoulders. It wasn't going to button up. But I put it on and there was plenty of room in it. And I felt some kind of way about it, but I didn't know how to feel about it because I haven't gone down a size in anything ever in my life. Not even like junior high. I don't remember the last time I dropped a size. Except in high school when I did the cabbage soup diet, which is horrible. Don't ever do it. It's awful. You just start starving yourself by the end of it. But I guess I was in shock and not really believing that this was happening. And I still kind of feel that way. I'm still kind of looking at that shirt and going, you're really a 3X. Did they mislabel you? So anyway, I guess I'm going to have a lot more of those moments in the next coming, years. So I'm going to leave you with that, but please, if you guys can, leave a comment and tell me what surgery you're considering getting and why, because I really want to get a whole lot of opinions, and if you've already gotten a surgery, tell me why you chose that surgery. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.